So tell us, Rod, what's going on at the moment?
Well, it's early in the morning. We're just having the first lot out. What we do, we have through the work riders ride out first thing while the other lads are mucking out. So we've got a small string out this time. So it's just some horses getting ready to gallop. They're just warming up now. They always have a good 15-minute warm-up before they canter. And then in a minute, once they've done that, they'll have a few laps trotting just to limber up. Then they'll go on out on the gallops.
So you obviously brief the jockeys and the work riders very closely.
Yeah, what I do, I'll take you in the tack room and I'll show you exactly what we do, you know, because we have a list. What I do the list the night before, and all the lads know what they're doing right through the day. This is our work list.
What list? Sorry.
We call it a work list.
Oh, you work
every
list,
morning,
okay.
every night before I finish work, I'd write out the list for everyone. There's the jockeys' names. You've got Shabbat in there. He's riding King's Degree on the sand. Chris is riding Sunshine. He's doing a steady half. One of the boys, Shakti, he's getting Shavensky ready for me to ride. I'll ride him work and everything like that.
So when all the lads think you're sitting there at night with your feet up with a glass of wine watching Coronation Street, you're actually there working very hard.
I might have a glass of wine while doing it, but yes, that's what we do. So I try and get everything done for the night so all the lads know what they're doing next day. Now, we're a little bit busy today because we've had two people off, one on holiday and one sick today, so we're a little bit short-staffed today.
And this changes every day, does it?
Oh, every day, yes, it all gets done differently.
So there's obviously quite a lot to training that meets the eye, a lot more than we'd think, and also the most important aspect, of course, is feeding. You can't run the distances that they run and pump out all that energy without the right thing going into the engine.
Now, I mean, race horses would eat a lot more hard food than ordinary horses. They don't eat quite so much hay, which the nutritionist would tell you is bad. But how we feed our horses anyway, everything's weighed. They have 3 pounds of nuts in the morning, then they have 3 dinner time, and then they'll have a bigger feed at night. Now, the reason they have a bigger feed at night is they have all night to eat it. And a racehorse in hard work, believe it or not, a lot of them won't eat as much as you'd like them to. So we weigh everything's weighed here, everything's fed differently. Generally, most of the horses would eat these nuts, which is like a high protein nut, cube they call it. And then we have other different sorts of cube with different chemical makeup and proteins for if they've got problems. If you wouldn't want to feed this sort of nut when the horse is on box rest,
right?
Because there'd be too much protein going to the system and it would overload them.
Right.
So then you put them on a lower protein feed.
Yeah. I imagine they all have an individual diet as well. They all have their regime.
Yes, they do. But I mean, basically, you see, this is the weights. I mean, you take.
What time do they have the breakfast then?
They have the breakfast at 6:30.
And then when do they next eat?
12:30.
Yeah.
And then 4:30.
4:30. And do they come out of the boxes after 4:30?
No, they don't. No.
Early to bed, early to rise.
Very occasionally. I mean, you know, it's like anything. It's like a cost, really.
Yeah.
You know, if they come out, it might sound silly, but if you were to take them out twice a day, then your training fees would be twice as much.
Okay, take us round here then, and it's obviously a weighing scale.
Well, everything gets weighed.
Yeah,
That's a second-hand sweet thing we bought.
Yeah.
You know.
Added vitamins down
Yeah,
here?
but you could. It's amazing. This year we've actually, because of economics, we've cut back on what we fed because I think a lot of it was just going straight through them.
Yeah. Some of the trainers I've seen, though, they love mixing it all up with their hands and getting it there down and dirty.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know. I mean, that's how it used to be done years ago.
Yeah.
And a lot of trainers and old head lads feed like their grandfathers did.
Yeah.
I've tried to go in a more modern way. I mean, nowadays, we don't feed oats anymore because everything is in the nuts. Whereas if you feed oats, it depends what ground they're grown on.
Right.
You know, if they're grown on and you don't know where it's come from, so the vitamin makeup wouldn't all be the same in different oats. So with that, it's all guaranteed to be the same, and it makes expert feeders of everyone, really.